on another episode of Who's Buying This? Who's buying this?
As you've probably been seeing in the news a lot, if you're a car enthusiast, Dodge has released the prices for their all-wheel drive electric vehicles, and these are the lower trims. And it's not looking so great, not only for the EVs, but the V8s as well. And I do believe we have pricing for that also, or at least estimations. So we're going to go over them right now. This just got updated on August 8th, 2024, so just a few days ago. And right off the rip, 2024 Dodge Charger RT officially starts at almost $62,000. That thing right there. Unbelievable. So there were some leaks and some misconceptions about the prices, and I'm happy to report, I know this sounds crazy, but I'm happy to report that they're actually cheaper than what they initially said. So the MSRP, the 2024 Dodge Daytona RT will start at $60,000 before the $2,000 destination charge, which comes out to be about $62,000 before any options. Now that is $8,500, almost $8,600 below the rumored price that was posted a few days ago before this that you might have saw. But more on that in a moment. We won't talk about the discrepancy really, but as you can probably tell, you can rack up these prices pretty fast with adding packages. It doesn't matter what vehicle it is, what performance vehicle, BMW, Ford with the Mustang, a Corvette. The packages, when you add up extremely quick. So starting at $62,000 for a slow, heavy electric car, even though it's all-wheel drive, so it's practical, is just insane. Now, if you do the 2024 Dodge Charger Daytona Scat Pack, that starts at a little over $75,000 after destination, but that was about $9,000 lower than what was rumored. But again, the packages add up quick. So, for example, they expect a fully loaded RT trim with the $5,000 plus group, the 1100 blacktop package, and then the 2500 Sun and Sound group. The sum of these options and prices is almost $8,600, which puts the prices right around the projected differences from the MSRPs that we saw a few days ago. So let's see, 8600 and 6800. That is, or 6200. That's 6800, over $68,000 for an RT. That's insane. I don't know if they have the actual horsepower ratings here, but it's not a lot. It's like 420 horsepower, and then you could do the stage 1 kit, which gives you like 490. Um, and the Scat Pack starts at like 490, and then you can do a stage kit and it gives you like 670 horsepower. But the prices are absurd. So obviously, if you take that same $8,000 or 8,500, I should say, and add it to the $75,000, you're looking at over $83,000 for 670 horsepower. It might sound like it's a lot, but it's really not, because the car is extremely heavy. It's all-wheel drive. It's electric. Doesn't have a bunch of range. It's 0 to 60 is 3.3 seconds, and it's supposed to do the quarter mile in like 11.5 seconds. Like, who cares? That is terrible. Throw a tire on a stock Hellcat, and you can run high tens in the quarter mile. Now, street light to street light, or eighth mile to eighth mile, because some people only have eighth mile tracks. Of course, that electric Scat Pack with 670 horsepower is going to do really well, but you're not out there beating the world. Seriously, you really aren't. I know a lot of people have been saying and talking on the internet, like, come on, guys, that's a really good car for daily driving and blah, blah, blah. It's really not that fast, honestly, in my opinion, and it dies down really quickly. So the prices are insane. And the thing is why would you get these when you could get their V8 counterparts still? So believe it or not, even though Dodge stopped producing these, they're not selling a lot of their Dodge Chargers whatsoever. And you can see the price differences though between the V8s, which the V8s are fantastic, and the actual electric, at least not the Bad Daddy, not the Banshee, not the one that's probably going to be over 1,000 horsepower, which we'll talk about that once it comes out. but just for 670 horsepower, you could just get a regular SRT Hellcat wide body jailbreak for literally the same price. Don't worry about adding any options. The car comes pretty loaded as far as the technology goes. What's in the actual center cluster, what you get for your base MSRP money. There's quite a bit in there. Obviously, the big brakes. In this case, it's like 707 horsepower, right? Um, because it's the wide body jailbreak. And for not that much more money, you can get a Hellcat Red Eye and have 797 horsepower, even more goodies. At an MSRP starting price. It's just absolutely insane. Why would you go electric when you can have more for your money, in my opinion, with the gas equivalents? Now, if you look at the Scat Pack, remember we're talking about the Scat Pack. Well, you can get a Scat Pack for $52,000, load it up, and still have more money into the car and more options than a base price electric Scat Pack. Same thing with the RT. You could have more options and be more loaded up for the RT. So it just doesn't make any sense to me. And then obviously the nail in the coffin for all this is that it is an electric vehicle. And I want you guys to take a look at what this damn thing sounds like. It sounds ridiculous in my opinion, and I'll do some talking over it too. So let's go ahead and see what this thing sounds like. Sounds like a V8, doesn't it? Okay. Let's go ahead and let's get forward. Listen to this. It sounds like a teapot, right? Like a tea kettle, like overflowing or whatever you call it. Because all you hear is the all-wheel drive tires versus actual exhaust sound. When it's just not exhaust, it's fake. It's a combination between speakers and this like routing of the chamber from the electric motor out towards the back of the car, and the harmonics and whatnot make like a rumble sound on top of it. I will admit that's pretty crazy engineering, and it's pretty smart, but the fake speakers on top of it, they should have just went with something extremely unique in the electric car market and make it sound different. Why are you trying to fake V8 noises with an electric car? You should have done something a little bit more revolutionary, in my honest opinion, and not try to fake a V8. V8s are V8s. Like, they're not fake. So don't fake a V8. Make something completely different. I haven't heard anyone really mention that or have an opinion on that. In my opinion, that's what they should have done, is make the electric sound revolutionary for this vehicle and not try to fake something. But that sounds ridiculous. Now, I just got done watching another video. I can't remember if it was Butter the Great or who it was. I think it was Knockout 360, I do believe. Notice how you can hear the tires screeching over the exhaust, right? But you can still hear, well, exhaust, the sound, whatever. You can hear the tires more than the sound coming out from the back. But how much you want to bet that there's like a speaker or excuse me, a microphone or a camera there picking up that noise, and it's come on, this is a video. You can edit the video and overlay the sound to this, and it's louder. It's louder. How much you want to bet you probably couldn't even hear the sound coming out of the rear with the speakers in the chamber when this is actually happening in person? So who's going to want to stand around and watch somebody, like let's say you go to a track session or something and they have a skid pad or they have a donut pad, and hear someone just screech tires like a teapot kettle overflowing in the skid pad with no other sound other than that? No one's going to want to watch that. The main thing about hearing it, yeah, see, there it is. He's right. There it is. Do you see it? I don't know if my mouse is picking up. See on the back right? There was a camera there. So, of course, it's going to be louder in this video than it would be in person. The only saving grace I feel like for this vehicle overall, because this is what the V6 is going to be, and I guess there wasn't pricing on those, but we'll get to that in a second because I did not go over that. is the looks of the vehicle are growing on me, and I want to see them in person. It does look like modern muscle, modern technology, modern muscle. It looks like a more futuristic muscle car. And the interior, I will say, without being in it yet, but seeing pictures, does look pretty good. So let me go back to the pricing thing I was telling you about the inline sixes, because I think that's still more of a rumor versus actually what it's going to be. So just like I thought, I couldn't find any information on it. And this is where things are going to get, I think, scary, in my opinion. This is super far off. The six pack standard output 40K estimated by Car and Driver, and then the six pack high output estimated 50K with 550 horsepower, which all wheel drive and a forged internal engine. Downpipe tune, that thing's making 700. Like, it's going to be insane. It's literally going to be a BMW fighter. Hopefully, it's not as heavy as the outgoing cars. But if we just go back and look at the pricing of the other Dodges, it tells a different story. So I keep going back to this because they said that the outgoing normal output, standard output, is going to be 40K. The RT isn't even 40K. The GT, even though that would be considered the standard output, right, with 420 horsepower, I think it's actually going to be 400 horsepower in the inline six. That's It's not going to be 40K. It's going to be bumped. The interior is drastically better. Even the stock regular Joe Blow interior is way better than any of these cars have ever had. It's true. They have upped their game on that. They deserve credit for it. It's probably going to start around the Scat Pack pricing. I'm dead serious. It's going to probably be around 50K. Because look at the Mustangs. Most of them that are on the lot are anywhere between $46,000 and $50,000. Yes, you can find low trim, bare bones Mustang GTs, but most of them are between like $46,000 and $50,000. And that's for a Mustang GT. Okay? Now, if we're talking about the high output one, 550 horsepower, I expect it to be around the Scat Pack wide body pricing. Probably anywhere between $55,000 starting up to $6,000 potentially starting. It's going to be a lot more money because you're getting a lot more for your money. I bet the interior is going to have some different tweaks, some different touches to it, right? And obviously the horsepower is through the roof. It's 550 horsepower. If the car comes around 4,200 pounds with 550 horsepower, all-wheel drive, inline six, nice interior, it's actually going to be a pretty good buy. It just depends on how well Dodge is going to lock these cars and how long they're going to be until they can be tuned. If Dodge doesn't care and you can tune these almost right off the bat, that's going to be huge. Dodge will end up winning the tuning wars, you could say, for lack of a better term, right off the bat. But the pricing, 40K for starting for the standard output and 50K for the high output, guys, just look at these prices right now. You know that's baloney. That's going to be baloney. And the last thing I wanted to leave you with is, okay, so let's say you like the electric car, right? And you want to dabble in one, because I'm going to be completely honest, I kind of want to dabble in an electric car just to try it. Charging at home, the convenience of that, saving gas money, brakes, like I want to try it just to see. I'm a tech guy at heart, so I want to see what it's like. I'd like to try it. But I don't think Dodge is the way to go. You can get a Model 3 Performance with a $7,500 incentives credit, five-year gas savings of over $5,000 estimated. The Model 3 Performance with a 0 to 60 at 2.9 seconds, 303 estimated range for miles, 163 miles per hour top speed, and it starts at $42,490. And you can spec this out to like 50K. Yeah, all-wheel drive, proven vehicle, right? Like Tesla is the first one to do this. They've done it for over a decade. It's an American company. It's no longer a European company like Stellantis. Stellantis is a European company. Dodge has turned European. Dodge has turned European. It's a European company. All our brands here in America that are owned by Stellantis now have a European mindset, not a United States mindset. So United States backed car, any issues, whatnot, Tesla has good support. Probably not the greatest support, but good support. The charger system is all over the country, and this car, someone's already done like a 10.8 quarter mile. 10.8 second quarter mile on these. And it's probably only going to get better because you can, shave weight, do different wheels, tires. There's different things you can do to shave weight to these cars. Although, not a lot, but I wouldn't be surprised if I saw a 10.5 second quarter mile on one of these with so the back seats out, the passenger seat out, or lighter seats in general, and some lighter wheels and some better tires and a better 60 foot. So, but for 42.5, you just can't beat it. You really can't. And then obviously for the Plaid, this is what's going to make things interesting before I close out this video, is the Plaid. The Plaid you could get for like $90,000. Let me see if I can go back and check it out. So, we're looking at the Plaid, $83,490. That's just insane. That is insane. You think the Dodge 4-digit horsepower, although it's going to look better, although it's probably going to have a cooler interior, but for the money, do you think it's going to be better than the Model S? Do you think it's going to be better, faster? It's not going to be cheaper. It's not going to be cheaper. It's going to start at probably $95,000. I would just get a Plaid or a lightly used Plaid. I've contemplated one of these too. I think just the rush of being an absolute animal on the street would be pretty fun. It would get old, but it'd be pretty fun to at least experience and have that kind of experience, coupled with an electric car. If you're thinking about just trying an electric car, there's nothing wrong with electric cars. Trying an electric car, I think, would be really cool, especially the Plaid. So there you have it. The European company is pricing themselves underwater. I don't know if it's on purpose. I don't know if it's because they're going to decide to bring our cars to Europe because they're a European brand. Who knows? We will have to see. But it's not looking good for Dodge. It's not looking good for car enthusiasts in general. I am not a Dodge lover, Ford lover, Chevy lover. I'm a car lover, car enthusiast. I've had them all. If you're new to the channel, I've had them all. So we'll have to see. Things are getting pretty scary in the pricing market. That's it with me. I'll see you guys in the next one.